Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I have given that CAT 16 and I have showed you my score as well, 64 it is, and the percentile which IMS gave was 70.59 and the CAT predicted percentile was 92.53 something, and the rank was 4263 somewhere around that. So this is about the stats of yesterday's mock. Today I have analyzed the mock. Because we don't get the questions from yesterday itself, I have analyzed it today. Quants I have analyzed and DLR also have analyzed. VARC is left for me. I have to do that. So this is about the daily preparation update. Now let's talk about the quants analysis thing. Before I start with it, I want to clear one thing. If you haven't finished your syllabus yet, this approach or this particular discussion might not be completely useful for you. I'm not demotivating or something, but this is the scenario for this particular thing. So when I mean to say syllabus, I mean to say arithmetic, algebra and geometry, all the three. Now don't think in your mind like only arithmetic is fine now, why is he saying like that, only algebra is fine now, why is he saying like that. Maybe for you it is fine, I don't know, but what I believe is what I am saying and what is the process I follow. That's what I am going to share with you, and these are the kind of prerequisites. Okay? Now, so after I give a mock, okay, I have a separate book obviously for quants. So after I give a mock, the first thing I do is I try to segregate the questions. Segregate in the way, I think they are kind of reverse way, but please adjust because I can't take a picture, edit it and upload it. It takes a lot of time for me. So so arithmetic, algebra, number system and modern maths. In the elite grade mock 10 they did not give any question of geometry, so I haven't mentioned geometry. So the first step is like to note down the questions of each and every topic. What is the use of noting down them? Because what I feel is, if you are completely from non-engineering background, I have seen people who used to message me that we are not even able to understand like which question can we solve, which question we cannot solve. So the first thing is very simple. At least you need to have a clarity that after you see a question, you need to be able to figure out, is it from arithmetic, is it from algebra, is it from geometry. So समझ आ ही जाएगा obviously तब तक तो, but this is what it is. And even in algebra or even in arithmetic, you must be able to understand like what is a profit and loss question, what is a ratio and proportion question, what is a mixture and allocation question. You need to have that idea. So this thing will help over there. And if you have seen over here, I mentioned what are the total number of questions asked from the topic and what are the questions I have attempted and how many are correct, so that I'll get a clarity like how many questions were there in the exam, how many did I attempt, how many did I got correct. Okay? This is about the first step or the initial analysis. Now comes the second thing is like how do I solve the questions. Obviously, at least what I think is we have to solve all the questions of the test again once it is done. Okay? That's what I do. Now the thing is, I don't pick from 1 2 3 4 something like that, no, and I don't even solve randomly as well. What I do is, as per my segregation with respect to topic, I start doing. So if you can see, I have written algebra over here because I'm kind of comfortable with it. Firstly, I'll try to finish off the questions which I feel comfortable. So algebra I start. So let's suppose in this particular test there are total 10 questions from algebra. So all the 10 questions I'll try to solve together. I don't go to arithmetic in between, I don't go to geometry in between. All the 10 questions of algebra I'll try to solve. Meanwhile, this kind of green tick I keep because it is an indication that I was able to solve in the test itself. That is how I try to do it. Now, once algebra is completed, then I'll pick the next topic, let's say geometry. Then I'll try to solve all the geometry questions. Then after that, arithmetic. Meanwhile, let's suppose if I feel any question is kind of new to me, or any topic is new to me, or any model of that particular topic is new to me, question model. So I try to mark it with this color, this type of red color pen. Most of you people might be doing this, but the main point over here is you have to develop a pattern on your own with respect to each and every topic. What is the use of this when you start the test. This happens even in DLR, and the people who are from non-engineering background, it will be even more difficult for you to understand ki which question should you pick, which question should you attempt first, and which question you should leave, something like that. So once you do this, once you follow this kind of approach, you will have an idea when you start the exam, looking at the question, which topic is it from, what is the difficulty level, can you do it in the first round or not. Okay? If you have already practiced a lot of quants from last few months, then obviously it will be easy for you. No need to get into this kind of thing. You can easily understand looking at the question. But if you're not so confident, at least try to do this so that you can be on a good level to figure out which question you have to attempt. Now the next thing is, people say ki what is the use of doing in this particular way, it is kind of so boring. I mean, I told this to few people and they are like ki it is kind of boring and all. Good things come from boring practices is what I feel like. Reason being, once you have attempted mock, let's suppose you scored only 10 marks or 20 marks in quants, and when you try to analyze in this particular way, maybe you are able to solve only 2 to 3 questions. Rest of the questions you are not able to solve. You might think like, how am I doing all these things? Is it anything useful still or not? You might get such kind of questions. But the thing is, if you stick to this process, not just this process, any process, if you stick to the single process and if you follow it for at least few number of mocks, even this process also, I don't say that if you do it for one mock, second mock you will get 40 plus. No, not like that. You have to follow the same process at least for 4 mocks, 5 mocks, 6 mocks, and then the day when you sit and revise these mocks, whatever notes we have written, if you sit and revise all those 4 mocks or 5 mocks, let's suppose 4 mocks, 22 into 4 is like 88 questions. So all the 88 questions you are sitting and you are revising in a single sitting basically. You have the questions marked with green pen, you have the questions marked with red pen. I'm just telling you like easy questions and hard questions. When you glance at them, at least you'll have an idea like this is what I have missed at the time. Now I'm able to solve it, or if I'm not able to solve it even now, these are the questions I have to practice. Rest of the questions you can skip it, you can just go through it and skip it, but these are the questions I have to practice. It's all about segregating and understanding your strengths and understanding your weaknesses. This is the total point over here. Now I'll tell you few more things. I'll not take much time. When I was doing this particular thing initially before the Sunday's marathon, the recent marathon geometry, what used to happen, I was not so confident with geometry, but still I used to push myself and I used to note down the solutions of the geometry questions. And what happened is, after the Sunday's marathon, in the night itself, I tried to open this book and I tried to go through all the geometry questions. See, I don't need to run here and there to find out where are the geometry questions, because I already know that I have a journal. I have a track of all the geometry questions from each and every mock and each and every sectional. Okay? So what I do is I directly go to the geometry questions and then I try to solve them from all the mocks on Sunday itself, night mein bata raha hu. So let's suppose there are total 10 questions of geometry. For an example number I am saying, 8 out of 10 questions I was able to solve by my own. Now why did this happen? Firstly, marathon session I have attended, it was it was good, obviously very helpful. The second thing is, quickly I had an access to all the geometry questions of mocks and sectionals. So if I wanted to check myself, or if I want to have a clarity what is my understanding level of the marathon, I think this is the best thing which happened, and this is the best thing which can be useful for anyone. Okay? Now the next thing which I want to say is, what is the use of doing this kind of analysis? Let's suppose in this mock, easy mock 10, as you can see my score is 45. So when did I give this? I gave this on October 4th. So tab tak this geometry marathon is also not done. Okay? So in that test, if there were no geometry questions, I'm talking about the previous days, and if there are more number of algebra questions, as you guys already know, algebra is what somewhat I'm comfortable with. So that's the reason my score is like good in this particular mock, 45. Now there are mocks where algebra questions are very less, 4 to 5 questions max to max. In that case, geometry questions are like 5 geometry questions. Okay? In such scenarios, I got score between 30, 35, something like that. Now, till yesterday, I had given total of 10 mocks. And what I analyzed is, when I give a sectional or a mock which has more number of geometry questions, till yesterday I'm talking about, abhi that issue is not there, then my score is not going more than 35 or more than 40, at least more than 40. 35 still fine, but at least 40 is not possible for me. That is the reason, this is the one which motivated me to attend the marathon session with more focus. Reason being, I questioned myself, what if in the actual CAT exam something similar happens? More number of geometry questions will come than algebra, then what will I do? I'm losing out on my marks, right? So that's the reason it motivated me to focus more on the marathon of geometry. I was solving the questions, even though if I'm not getting, I was practicing. I have made my notes properly, everything is done. As soon as the class is done and I revisited my mock geometry questions, I was able to solve them. So the problem is solved. In yesterday's mock test of CAT 16, there are total of 3 geometry questions. Let's suppose I didn't analyze this, and let's suppose I didn't have this kind of clarity. So my marathon session will not go that much seriously. I will be like, Arey nahi ho raha, I'll leave geometry, I'll do only arithmetic and algebra. So just assume 3 questions I have attempted yesterday, 3 out of 3 questions I got correct, so 9 marks. I scored total of 35 in yesterday's test. Minus 9 if I remove. How much is it? 26. So can you see the difference? What is the importance of doing all the topics? That's what even Hani sir say. You can't leave out on any topic. Maybe if you think I haven't started anything, or I'll just focus on arithmetic, algebra, whatever it is, it's up to you. But for me, if the same happen in the exam, I'll be like Jai Mataji. That's the reason I don't want to leave out on any other topic as of now. The same is happening with the TSD and SICA. Okay? I am able to see a pattern where I'm not able to solve most of the TSD and SICA questions in the exam. After the exam, I'm able to solve when I get more time, but in the exam, I'm not able to solve. With this kind of analysis, what is the solution? Now, again, this is what you have to analyze on your own again. What is the solution that I feel is, I have to revisit the classes. I have to, redo the marathon session of TSD and SICA. So such kind of things which I have a plan basically for those kind of topics. So what happens when I do them? Once I do them, once I complete them, I'll again come back to this particular mock book, an analysis book, and I try to solve all the TSD questions and all the SICA questions, which will give me confidence first of all. And the second thing is, I'll be able to cover all the varieties of the same topic. In the next exam, if at all our luck is not good, then we can't do anything. But most of the cases, we will be able to solve the same kind of questions. Okay? So I hope I did not miss on any point, and I didn't even confuse you, is what I hope. At least some kind of clarity I was able to give you, and whatsoever I have discussed, I hope so it is kind of useful for you as well. So please don't leave out on any topic. Just think about it, what I have said. The same scenarios. I don't want to repeat the same stuff, but okay. So this is the only thing that I do for quants. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Every mock we have to analyze, every section we have to analyze, and analysis is not only enough. After n number of mocks or n number of tests, whenever you have time, or whenever, let's suppose even if you are not feeling to study anything or solve anything, just go through this kind of mock book, right? Like, it will be helpful for you. As many times as you go through this kind of mock book, the pattern will develop in your brain. The pattern will, you create a kind of framework in your brain ki theek hai, these are the kind of questions which can come in number system, these are the kind of questions which can come in logarithmic, something like that. So overall, this is the whole point. I'll not stretch it even more. So see, the reason I have shared it is very simple. It's not like I'm pro at quants or something like that. No, nothing like that. Only very few times out of all that 10 marks I crossed 40 45. I think 2 to 3 times or 3 to 4 times, I don't remember, but most of the times my score is always fluctuating between 30 and 40. So if at all you feel there is any kind of drawback in my analysis or drawback in my process, please let me know in the comment section. I will definitely go through it and I'll try to figure out what can I do better from this. So yeah, like that's it for today. Let me know what is your opinion on this particular discussion. ठीक है, thank you guys. See you guys tomorrow again. Bye bye. Take care.